So this is Jerry from Panasonic Automotive, and I'm also the leader of the software-defined vehicle expert group. And as I mentioned just now, I created these presentations in the morning, and probably it will be not a wonderful presentation, but it will be an overall guide for the other wonderful presentations. So please listen to me. I will give you an overall introduction on what is SoDeV is and what is the overall software-defined vehicle expert group is working on. Just a quick self-introduction. So I'm Jerry, working in Panasonic, and it's my 6th year in the AGL community. So actually it's 2/3 of my career. So it's really a good journey to working in the AGL. So before we covering the detailed topics of the SDV expert groups, I would just giving some background, which maybe the AGL members has been seeing it a lot. So the first thing is the overall trend of the hardware-defined to software-defined. So that's also the concept of this expert group. So when we're looking at the overall history of the technology and industry, we can see that, for example, in 1964, the mainframe was there, and from 2000 you have the feature phone, and at that moment, even Panasonic is creating a feature phone very successfully, and and the watch is also there, and so all the features of this kind of products, the product value is defined by the hardware or mechanical. But when we entering the 2000 years, which is actually the year of the internet, and also the year that overall the software has been evolved so much. So the mainframe became a personal PCs that everyone can bring it in your home and your company, and the feature phone has become smartphone without those kind of multiple buttons that I think very old persons would like to use that, but for young generations, maybe they prefer the smartphone. And the watch has become having equipped with a lot of new features, not only for the typical time purpose, but also for the fitness, for the monitoring of your health, and all this kind of fancy features. So that's a significant change that the product itself is becoming to defined by the software. So generally, the trend is not only the SDV we code in this expert group, but it's a software-defined everything, starting from the PC, various devices, has become intelligent thanks to the evolution of software. Maybe something I haven't written on here, but when you're looking into the recent trend, which I didn't cover in this slides, it seems that the hardware values has become again very important with the AI, or for example for the smartphone, a lot of vendors starting to adding different fancy hardware features like the folded one, or having different cameras with higher resolution. And for the smartwatch, it becomes, for example, smart rings, or even some smartwatch without the display, but just a single belt. But that's even the hardware values has been increased. Is still the software that dominated most of the values of the products, and it also needs a lot of collaborations in the industry. we finally come back for the SDV. So SDV is the largest SDX product. So it's not only a smartphone, it's not only a smartwatch, it's actually a thousand of a smartphone in the cars, which is a very complicated product in the human industry. So to create these products, traditionally we have a very hardware-centric approach that we develop the hardware first and gradually develop a software to adapt to that hardware, which actually giving a lot of problems. For example, for example, it's long lead time and very long cycle to realize the new values. And for the era of the SDV, for the era of SDV, so we have to move to a software-first approach, which enables to develop the software simultaneously with the hardware, or even before the hardware is ready, and so that you can really quickly develop the new values of the software and deliver more values to the users. And that is the place where the AGL and open sources works, because because the automotive industry, the automotive product is so huge that no single vendors can do everything. So it's very important that a community, a collective work can be done to reduce the over competitions on those kind of things not necessary to duplicate with each other. So in order to solve this kind of a problem, so AGL is proposing this kind of SoDeV. So we want to decoupling the software from the hardware to enable more innovations for the SDV, and to create a common base for people to utilize to establish a more evolved and innovative platform. And before going to the SoDeV itself, the original work of SDV-EG was summarized in these slides that we have digged into the device virtualization with VirtIO for many years. As Mizuyama-san has mentioned, so we started from 2018, and even from the next year, 2019, so the work in the AGL has been done, and it covers different domains, like the hypervisor environment, which was the traditional VirtIO areas, and it also extends to non-hypervisor environment and multi-ECU environment, and even the cloud environment. And with this kind of SDV-EG's work and heritage, so we established this SDV Reference Platform to actually incubate and integrate all the wonderful components of the AGL community, and also the Linux Foundation, and even the other communities. That's included the Unified HMI, VirtIO, Zen, Yocto, and Zephyr, and probably future SDV enablers to be integrated and incubated. Okay, then I think I can go to the SoDeV part. And before have an introduction of the SoDeV architectures, I will just to use this slide to illustrate the SoDeV scope. So SoDeV is focusing on the guest domains, which in the Zen context you can call it the DOMEU, that need frequent updates, functionality changes, and reuse across car variants or generations. And we aim to incubate and integrate OSS innovations to establish an industry-wide reference platform. So with this concept, we have summarized our activities into these key visual diagrams. And you can see that on the DOMEU domains, so it's infotainment, either it's AGL or even it is AOS. we are fine. And for the DoomEU, a AGL cluster, and for the and another AGL gateway VM, and even a little bit challenging, but is a very important things that we would like to achieve a mixed criticality features with ADAS or even AD features running on top of this kind of a guest domain. And you can see VirtIO, Unified HMI, Zen, and Zephyr, and all this kind of key components has been included in the SoDeV architecture. For the overall SoDeV story and how it will be facilitating OEM's innovations, Kusakabe-san will have a dedicated presentations tomorrow morning in this room. Please definitely listen to this session. And I go to some example of the key components in the AGL SoDeV. For example, the first one, VirtIO. I don't want to repeat this contents, which has been already explained by Ms. Yama-san, but this kind of VirtIO work has been continuously working in the AGL. And we are trying to make sure that AGL is the first target that the new VirtIO implementations can be launched. And for this particular topics, some new VirtIO updates and even some new test programs to ensure the environment parity, which will be covered by Kuzu-san and Teramura-san in tomorrow's session. And another component is called Unified HMI. And this Unified HMI is also what has mentioned. It's a big virtual display which actually can consolidate different sources from different ECU or VMs. And it can also have a use cases that you can generate the overall control of different ECUs to have the GPU computings, which you can even offload the GPU rendering from one hardware to another hardware. So for this Unified HMI has been fully open sourced in the GitHub and also integrated into the AGL UCB. It has been available in AGL since the version PP in 2024 and have continuous update throughout the years. For the new updates of Unified HMI, Murakami-san will talk about it in today's sessions in the afternoon, and actually Murakami-san is complete the original update of the Unified HMI before his parental leave, and finally he came back to AGL, and according to what he said, Murakami-san is so important, he didn't want him to have the second leave. So welcome back, Murakami-san. Okay, and beside this kind of components, I think, although I haven't included in my slide, for example, for Zen and for example, for Zephyr, there's also some presentations during these 2 days. Please clearly check them. And the next topic is the instrument cluster, and Yamaguchi-san from Aishin will have a very important the topics to identify how this kind of overall SoDeV concept can fit into the cluster domains, which is more different from the IVI domains, which requires function safeties and even some real-time features. And his sessions will be on tomorrow. And similarly, but not only for cluster, but for a Zephyr domains topics, Tokita-san from Fujitsu will have a sharing, especially he and his intern member has collectively to contribute the works to the AGLs. It's a very fantastic work, and he will introduce this journey today, yeah. Another topic is that during our last year, actually we have a very wonderful thing that the original V2C activities has been postponed, but thanks to Jaylin from EMQ, the related activities has been reactivated in the SDV-EG, and they actually donate the Velo RT and Velo Flux, which is the lightweight MQTT broker and lightweight data streaming processing engine, respectively. Originally from the Nano MQ and Equiper, which they contribute to the Linux Edge project, but they tailored them for the automotive use cases and contributed to the AGL. And this actually filled the gap of the AGL middleware perspective in terms of the gateway and the data closed loop. And we really appreciate his effort. And he will give some presentations related to this kind of topic, but also beyond this topic, some AI-related updates from him. So last one, I think this is the slides I used in the previous AMM last year. So currently we are working on some realistic things which is close to the productions to have the VirtIO enabled for the IVI and cluster domains. But gradually we want to explore to the romantic area, which is more close to the innovations that to enable the VirtIO for the real-time domain. So not only real-time Linux, but also, for example, OSS RTOS like Zephyr. And even future, so we can enlarge the collaboration with more Linux-related communities, like the LXC K3S for the containerization, or the cloudification like the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. So all this kind of AGL SoDeV activities actually is heavily working through the collaboration in the local Japan community, and Ishii-san will give a story behind this SoDeV developments in the afternoon, just after the lunch. And we also have some SoDeV-related demos. I think in the coffee breaks, most of you probably have already visited the booth. If you have not, please just go to them. For example, Honda is showing their production IVI running on the SoDeV platform, and Renesas is showing the reference hardware for SoDeV, which is the Sparrowhawk, and Panasonic is showing a virtual hardware version of SoDeV. So AGL in the area of SDV, so I call it realistic, romantic, and fantastic. And the automotive grade Linux, which for someone you have already seen this, which we can integrate into another word, automotive grade Linux. And definitely this will be achieved by the whole community and also the newcomers, that we will definitely welcome you to join the SDV Expert Group and also the AGL community to enable this kind of innovation. Thank you.